Hey, good afternoon. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me. Day 30 on how to have a breakthrough Christmas. So we have passed the date of Christmas, and yet the month is still full of festivities. But today is a day, one of those year-end days, where we can actually begin to take inventory. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is taking inventory of where we're at and where we want to go. A couple of quick announcements before that. You can observe, watch, rewatch all of the videos of Breakthrough Christmas on this YouTube channel. So if there's a topic that you wanted to go back and review, you certainly can do that on YouTube or on this Facebook page, of course. Another announcement, Single Moms Winter Virtual Camp, January 18th through the 22nd. So you can contact me for a registration form. We meet together Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning for about 30 minutes. And then we come back together 8 o'clock at night for about an hour and 15 minutes. And we talk about the topic of the day. Each day is a different topic. I start out the day by giving you things to think about through the day, and then we discuss them as a group at the end of the day. Total cost, this is something I love to do. I've done it in the past, and I would love to have you participate. Total cost is $20 for the entire week. You get the workbook as a download, and we come together. And it was quite a phenomenal experience last summer when I did it. And because of COVID, we couldn't do a camp, which I do an actual physical camp with single moms up in northern Michigan. And we do that in the summer. And that was canceled due to COVID. So I created a virtual camp, which I want to repeat that because January can get kind of, the doldrums and things, not much is happening. So I wanted to do this virtual winter camp. So connect with me if you have any interest, and I think you'll enjoy it. I know you'll enjoy it if you're anything like the other women. They really did bond and come together with this. I don't have one for single dads, not yet anyway. This one is for single moms. So I hope you'll connect with me and be part of that if you're a single mom. Also, I'm starting a virtual group January 20th. I'm doing a one physical January 12th. We'll begin here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I'm also doing a virtual on January 20th. So we'll come together in the evening. Typically we do it at 9 o'clock at night, so your babies are in bed and you can get the support that you need. But if we come together as a group and find a different time works better for everyone, then we may change that. But that's beginning January 20th, so I hope that you'll connect with me and get going through that process if that's something that you need. And that is actually a 6-month program. You pay monthly as you determine how far you want to go. We begin 10 weeks of support as a group going through the 4 stages of divorce. We talk about emotions, decisions, acceptance, moving forward. And then the next phase, we are redesigning our life or building our future after divorce. That's 8 weeks. And then we will come together for 5 weeks as a mastermind group. Because what I have found is when people come together and have this mutual trauma, heartache, they really do bond together. So you can stay with this group as long as you like, or you can try it for a month and then say it wasn't for me. That doesn't happen very often, but that's a possibility for you as well. So let's take inventory. This is the time of year that we need to do that. If you hear a slight little sound, it's my dog snoring. I have a dog who's 14, little bitty one. She's down near my feet and she's snoring. So I hear her. I'm assuming you can hear her as well. So taking inventory. How do we take inventory? What do we look at when we take inventory? We look at, first of all, who are the people? Who are the people in our life that are good for us or not so good for us? I would highly recommend to you, along with my books, this book by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. This is a book about safe people. This is a very old copy. I've had it for years. The pages are actually yellowing, but I go back and I glimpse through it every once in a while. It has some really great information in it, because a person who is safe for me may not be safe for you. And it explains what unsafe people are, and then it gives you tools in which to find the safe people in your life. So as you look at the people in your life, and there are those that we must learn to love from a distance. God tells us to always love people, but because we love them does not mean they have full access into our life. There's a huge distinction there. I love a lot of people, but I'm not going to let them come in my house and live with me. I'm not going to give them access to my deepest secrets. There is that boundary there. And there are those people perhaps in your life that you need to establish boundaries with that you have not ever done that before. And they feel like they have full access to your life. So maybe this year the inventory needs to begin with, who are the people in my life? And what you could do is you could name the person, define, is this a healthy relationship? And what makes this relationship healthy? Is there reciprocity? Is there mutuality with this person? Do they keep your confidences? There are many ways to describe how a relationship, a person is healthy. Will they go with you into 2021, into the next year? Will they? And if they will, how will that look? Will it be limited access? Will it be a total cutoff because they are not a safe person for you? Lovingly, of course, we never want to be cruel or mean or anything of that sort. But there are those people who are not safe that we need to determine those boundaries with. And sad to say, those people could be our siblings, our parents, our adult children. It could be anyone. So take that inventory and determine who are those safe people. The next, I'm going to watch the clock because I went really long yesterday, and I want to be respectful, but I'm running along already. But the next is behaviors. What are those behaviors in your life? Maybe that's the thought process that you are, how you're thinking, and the behaviors follow what our thoughts are. So scriptures say the mouth speaks what the heart's full of. So whatever's in our mind is going to come out of our mouth and going to work into our behavior. So what are those behaviors? Is it a healthier view of food? Is it a healthier view of self? What are those thoughts that we need to change? And maybe we need help in doing that. Maybe that's something we can't do on our own, because when we're doing all that we can do, we reach this ceiling that we can't go any further, because that's the knowledge base that we have. And to go further, we may need someone else to work with us, to help us find what we need to discover in our life and ask the right questions, which is so very key. So behaviors. What are we doing? What needs to change? Taking inventory of those and being compassionate to yourself, especially if you've just gone through a divorce, you've gone through a trauma. Don't beat yourself up. Just take note of what are those things that I'd like to change? What are those things, again, that I may need healing from first before I can change? The next one is one of my favorites, actually, and that's clutter. And one of my favorites, maybe because I suffer from that. My mom was a World War II individual through the Depression, and she kept everything because someday someone would use it. I struggle with clutter. I mean, I'm not a hoarder. I don't have a lot of junk, but I have more than I should be holding on to. So that may be a goal. And this is something too that you may need some help and instruction with, because when I hold this group and we come to clutter, it's amazing. People come back and say, I just took 5 bags to Salvation Army. Well, they knew they needed to get rid of it, but somehow it took the group dynamic to be the motivating factor to get them to actually do it. So clutter is huge and important to consider. We get rid of all that stuff, then we can focus really on the life that we want to live. And when we deal with it in group, we talk about the clutter in our space, and then we talk about the clutter in our head, because it's there too, right? We need to get rid of. And lastly, but so important, dreams and goals. We want to get you beyond survival, beyond living in survival, so that you can begin to dream again and put those goals down. Write them down. Get a journal. Write yourself a letter. Whatever technique is going to help you discover those dreams and goals. And many of you have totally lost sight of your dreams and goals. I know that because I've worked with many of you that have. So we want to be able to bring those dreams and goals back to life. Sometimes we have to go back to high school or college days for us to remember what our dreams were. So this is a time to take inventory, to look at the people in your life, the behaviors in your life, the clutter in your life, the dreams and goals in your life, so that you can have a plan for 2021, the new year. And look at what's going to stay. What are you going to take with you into 2021? And what no longer fits and needs to be left behind. Such an important exercise. So, and if you're a little bit afraid, change is difficult, letting go. You don't know how people are going to react. They may throw things at you verbally, help only verbally, that why are you turning away from family, or why don't you want to be with me anymore, or you think you're too good to be my friend, or the list goes on and on. So you really do have to have that determination, a clear reason why you are doing this action. But this is my life verse. Actually, I love this verse because it encourages me, it guides me in every circumstance. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That is my verse, because when I feel like I don't have any power, I go to this verse. When I feel like I'm afraid, I go to this verse. God, that's not from God. If you have fear, that is not from God. God has not given us a spirit of fear. He's given us power. He's given us love and a sound mind. Love the sound mind part. Some versions say self-discipline or discipline. I like the sound mind because I can claim that as my own. I can claim that as my own. Casting down arguments and every high thing that puts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought captive to obedience of Christ. There's another, bringing every thought captive, and bringing those thoughts that we have and saying, Lord, I'm bringing it captive to you because it's not serving me well. It's not honoring you. It's not helping me. It's not helping relationships. I'm going to bring it captive and give it to you. And Lord, would you hold this thought? Would you take this thought? And so I won't be a prisoner of this thought. I give it to Christ and say, you hold it captive, Savior, because it's too much for me. And he does. And he does. So it's time for inventory. We have 2 days left of this year. Today be a great day to get out that journal and to start taking that inventory on these different topics. And maybe you come up with some other ones as well that you want to take inventory of. But be proactive. Get it written out so you will not live as a reflex to your life in 2021.